Hey, good morning, folks. Hold on here, turn my volume off. Good morning, I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Yes, going to have a little rainy weekend. I don't know. I've heard as much as in the mountains in the North Georgia area, up in several areas in the mountainous area here. Let me roll around, try to get this back under control. Maybe up to 6 to 7 inches of rain throughout the weekend. It's going to be a lot of rain. We have a little rain this morning, so when we do, we love being over at Sycamore Crossing, but it makes it difficult to be outdoors. So we love having our option in the spring/summer for Circuit World of Blue Ridge. Why can't I get all that together this morning? I don't know. Since the last time we were together, last Friday, we had an opportunity to do 14 baseball games. Yes, 12-year-old baseball games at the Park and Rec right here in Fannin County. Park and Rec, 14 games, 12-year-olds. Next week, we will be doing another 14 games over in White County, 12-year-olds, Dizzy Dean at the White County Park and Rec. So there you go. Anyhow, moving right along, trying to get my flow. I don't know what's with me this morning. It may be the bicycle built for 12 or whatever that I walked into this morning that JR had in here. I don't know what it is, Josh. We're trying to get some flow going this morning. Hey, how about this? So we honor the ones that gave all and the ones that are in their 90s. If you're a World War II veteran, the odds are you're in your 90s. We had honor of D-Day yesterday, 75 years. Nancy Pelosi wants to see the President of the United States in prison. Okay, we're going to have to talk about that on the All-Star panel because there's some people that I'm thinking should go to prison, and really Trump's not on the top of the list. But Speaker of the House of the United States of America, while the president is traveling abroad, makes a comment that is all over the news that she would like to see him in prison. All right, there you go. The other thing this morning, let's go back in the Wayback Machine to 1976. Now, one would think 1976, would that be the bicentennial? Would that be when we celebrated the bicentennial of this country, 200 years? Yes, but also it's called the Hyde Amendment. And I think his name was Henry Hyde, and believe it or not, he was a Republican. I think he's passed, a Republican from Illinois. Wow, there's an unusual, that just doesn't go together, does it? The Hyde Amendment. What did the Hyde Amendment do? You're going to hear a lot about it. It said you may be okay with someone seeking an abortion, okay, but you didn't want to pay for it, okay? So if you're going to call Roe v. Wade the law of the land, if you're going to say it's settled law, in 1976, the Hyde Amendment from Henry Hyde from Illinois, that's why it's called that, said, okay, but we're not going to pay for it. I don't want my tax money to pay for it. Joe Biden supported that. Joe Biden was very open about supporting the Hyde Amendment, that federal tax money should not be spent to pay for an abortion. Okay. What is that song, Losing My Religion? I just want to tell you, sometimes I'm controversial. I had to pause to let you guys laugh out there. Sometimes I'm controversial. I have to tell you, why, if you're a Catholic and Joe Biden is, you're watching news reports that Joe Biden is a devout Catholic. What? And because of his religion over the years, his being a devout Catholic, he supported the Hyde Amendment and did not believe that you should use tax money. But how about throwing the religion completely out the window to be president? Wow. Throw everything you believe in as a Catholic out the window because the pressure is on you. Yesterday in Atlanta, Joe Biden, the front runner, with the pressure on him, denounced the Hyde Amendment. So guess what? If you choose to have a Democrat for your next president of the United States, then you're also saying that you're okay with taking your tax money and paying for abortions. Not whether you believe in it or not, taking your money to pay the bill. That's been settled law. When is somebody going to come up and say the Hyde Amendment's been settled law since 1976, that the American people said, no, we're not going to use our tax money? Well, far be it from me to start the show a little controversial, right? I'm your host, BKP. Don't forget, right after these messages, we have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. He'll be right in here. We got some great questions this morning the doctor is waiting to answer for you. After that is the All-Star Political Panel with Jane, Rick, and Bruce. Rick is back in town. Okay, I think he was out there climbing Mount Kilimanjaro or something, as Rick would do. But anyhow, he's back. Bruce, Rick, and Jane, we're going to have an all-star political panel, and we're going to talk about some of these things that are going on. And then after that, North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall. And we always round out the show with our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. I think I got my flow back, right? There you go. Circuit World, Blue Ridge, right back in just a minute with Ask the Doc, William Whaley.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ella, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge this morning. We're anticipating a little rain. I think I was listening to a pretty nice rain come through at 5 o'clock this morning. But so we move over here just to get out of the weather, and we're going to have a lot of rain in North Georgia. But it is time for Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. This is brought to you by the Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital. Dr. Whaley, how are you?
Great, and my wife doesn't have to be out in the backyard the next couple of days with the little thing trying to get her seedlings to come up, because our 10-day drought's over with for a while.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because we need the rain.
Yeah, we're actually at average rain for the year.
Right, we need the rain.
Big lot of rain, then we had this big period without rain. Well, we're not here to talk about rain.
I never
talk about pie.
Oh, wait a minute. But wait a minute. I never know with you, because you do give us the update.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
so
we're exactly on the average for the year.
Let's talk about that red, white, and blue tie for just a second.
All right. Well, I'm older than you by about 30 years.
Okay.
And my father was an FBI agent and a counter spy during World War II, and I have really spent a lot of time I've been to Normandy 7 or 8 times. About 15 years ago, I had an office manager who was a South African woman, and her father was a German veteran of World War II who fled to South Africa in August of 1945, meaning he was a Nazi fleeing out of the country. And he was an executive with Siemens. And as you know, many, many Nazis got engineering jobs all over the world, including in the United States. And every year they celebrated Hitler's birthday in their home in South Africa. And he died in his early 90s. He's only been dead a few years. So I have seen this small group of people in Germany who continued to think about National Socialism being a good thing. And this particular 75th anniversary of D-Day, last year I actually commented that nothing's happening around here to celebrate D-Day. In Germany, the big celebration this time was that the American, Canadian, English troops liberated Germany from the National Socialists. That phrase, I'm 79 years old, I've never heard the phrase uttered that Germany was liberated in any way by the invasion at Normandy. It's been the Nazis were defeated or anything else. So I think it's really a sort of a seminal change in direction for the German people, that was the biggest manner in which the German people spoke of the D-Day celebrations. And Angela Merkel, but not only Angela Merkel, but big newspapers and small newspapers and people on the street, that the Americans, primarily the Americans, they actually said, but the Americans, Canadians, and English liberated Germany from National Socialism.
No, I get where you're going with that, because, you know, we discuss liberating France, and we look
defeating Germany.
And defeating Germany. Right,
Germany.
Exactly.
Right.
But actually, I see where you're going. You know, I got up, and I know we got to get to our questions, and I don't want to get all emotional, but you know, I get up early, and with the time difference over there, the live ceremony started about 5:15 a.m.
Yeah.
And yesterday morning I watched it live, and I don't want to say negative, but you know, when it comes to the French President Macron, I don't say a lot of very positive things. But yesterday morning, his speech, very good.
Yeah, in English.
When he turned,
he was in English.
When he turned and he looked at our veterans and bestowed the highest French honor on them and said thank you to them, I was taken by our president's speech.
Yeah,
I will say when Macron looked at our veterans and said thank you, I was telling you, yesterday was, and I got to watch it live, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was.
I think our president really, between what he did in England in 4 days and what he did in France, I'm not sure I've figured out about Ireland yet, but I think he really solidified this greatest generation sort of warmth. The Canadians weren't there. I didn't see the Canadians there, but the English and the Americans were hugging each other. And then the presidents of France and England were hugging each other. And I didn't have much use for France since they wouldn't let us fly over and bomb Syria.
I got it.
So I feel better today about the French than I have in 30 years. When did we bomb Syria? 30 years ago?
Well, you know, these guys, and I know we got to get to medical questions, but these guys are in their 90s.
Yeah.
They're in their 90s. And I tell you what I said to people yesterday on my show. If you see someone wearing their World War II if you see a 90-year-old.
We saw Dyer at the thing last week.
If you see a 90-year-old World War II veteran, I don't care if you're late for work. I don't care if you're late for school. I don't care what you're...
Don't be late to the doctor's appointment.
No, wait a minute. I don't care what you're late for. I don't care what a big rush you're in. You can't be any of that if that individual would not have done what they did. Stop and say thank you. Yeah. That'll take a second. But anyhow, this guy, I watched the interview. They were interviewing some, and you know, these are kids. They're 18, 19 years old. And he said, it was funny as could be because he was in the 90s. He said, a bullet flew right past my ear. And he went like that, and he said, that's when I realized they wanted to kill me. I thought he was great.
How about those guys that did the tandem jumps?
Absolutely.
What they're like 20 or 30 of them. I don't remember exactly how many, but they made tandem jumps back into Normandy. I was just absolutely. The first tandem jump was old President Bush. Remember, he was 90 years old, I think. And these guys were in their 90s making tandem jumps.
Well, this is a perfect morning, and you're the right guy to talk about it. And I appreciate our time, but we got to get to our question
today.
All right. Again, we want to thank Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital, for our segment, and we'll go into number 2. Cancer treatments have come so far and have improved vastly over the years. Can you tell us how has treatment for breast cancer improved in the last 10 or 5 years?
Okay.
What is the improvement there?
Well, you've heard me say a lot of things about genetics. I'm going to try and touch every part of the cancer spectrum here in breast cancer. The first thing that Josh has got up there is the idea, people have heard about the BRCA gene, genetic testing for breast cancer susceptibility, and I'm going to be going kind of fast here. But the picture that he's showing there, people who there are 2 different genes, BRCA1 and BRCA2. Women who inherit this gene will have a 45 to 65% chance of getting breast cancer, they don't even mention ovarian cancer, by age 70. And that is a huge number. So where that test has been done in somebody's family because their great aunt or their cousin or whatever had breast cancer, and you have this gene, then you should immediately be into genetic counseling in a cancer center where they may discuss with you at an early stage removing your breasts or getting you on a breast cancer prevention program or removing your ovaries or getting you on an ovarian cancer prevention program. So we'll start first with genetic susceptibility. That's all brand new in the last decade or so, and it's a big deal. All right, let's go to that second one. That's the bar graph. Now, you don't have to be able to read this thing, but just basically the high number is the people who have the BRCA gene, and the low number down there is the people who don't have the BRCA gene. And you'll see that breast cancer by age 70 is up to 87% here, and a second breast cancer, if you've had the first, is up to 65% if you have the BRCA gene. So now we're getting from the point that I'm worried about having breast cancer. If the BRCA gene, I'm going to go get genetic testing. Now we've just got your wife or my wife, and she wants to have the appropriate diagnostic procedures done at the appropriate interval to detect cancer of the breast. So show that next one there that's got those 3 women in it. The triple test for breast cancer is a woman over age 40 should be having a mammogram. That's the left lower picture there. At intervals probably every 1 or 2 years, a woman in her reproductive years needs to be examined by a physician who is experienced in examining the breast, and that generally is going to be, there's a lot of family practitioners that never take off your shirt. So it needs to be somebody who takes off your shirt, takes off your brassiere, and examines your breast, and generally that could be your gynecologist. For most women, in communities where they don't have big gynecologic practices, it has to be a family practitioner or an internist. But a woman ought to make certain that she's getting her breast examined at certain intervals. And as I have said many times before, if you have, your right hand should look like your left hand on the mirror image. Remember that one?
Yeah.
All right. So if either by that exam or by the mammogram, there's a spot in one breast that's not present in the other, and it does not look malignant, you still have to do something to it. Now, if it looks malignant, you daggum know you're going to go get biopsied or whatever, but you got to do something to that breast, that lump. You've either got to aspirate it because it's a cyst or biopsy it, because 20% of cancer of the breast does not look malignant on mammography. So that's basically what is new in the last decade or so about diagnosis is early diagnosis of the asymmetrical mass that is not malignant by mammography. All right, so let's go to the next one. People have heard me, you got the breasts up there with okay. People have heard me talk about limited surgery to preserve the breast. That has been 30, 40 years. This is a picture of a breast biopsy taking out a small tumor, and you said probe right there?
Yes.
Okay, so what they've done here is they've injected a radioactive material into the skin that'll be picked up and go to the lymph nodes, and that probe right there will pick up the radioactivity. Now there's another picture, and it's just not as pretty, so I didn't bring it, where what they do here is where the breast cancer was, they put a blue dye, and the blue ink goes up there, and you don't need a probe, you can see it with your eyes. But the picture wasn't so pretty, so I brought the one that's radioactive. Actually, most of them nowadays are done by dye. So the advance is you don't have to take off the breast, you don't have to take off too much breast tissue in the breast itself, and you don't have to see how many lymph nodes are there?
Yes.
There's 30 lymph nodes there. You don't need to take out all 30 lymph nodes, which you used to do. You just need to take out number 1 or 2 or 1, 2, and 3, the ones that immediately get the dye, because if the cancer's going to spread, it's going to be in that lymph node with the dye. All right, now go to the next one. So in terms of modern breast cancer treatment, we now have done the biopsy, okay? We have a relatively controlled tumor, let's say that's as big as a plum. It may have one lymph node or no lymph nodes present. Historically, that patient, if the tumor was as big as 2 centimeters, or if it involved one lymph node, they were committed to take chemotherapy. Well, we have learned that there are people that do not have to have chemotherapy, even though the tumor is the size that historically was benefited by chemotherapy, because a proportion of the patient with a fairly good sized tumor and a positive lymph node have a low incidence of recurrence due to their genetic profiling. So you got the 70 gene test sign up there, Josh? All right, so there are 2 or 3 different profiles. I happen to pull up the one that's got 70 genes here. There's one that's got 20 genes. All right, so go to this next picture of these women standing here. Now, BKP, I don't want to confuse you here, but
That could be, that's very
that might be
easy.
easy.
Some days that's
okay,
very easy.
all right. 73% of all breast cancer patients have a positive hormone. And you remember me talking about the HER2 gene
Yes.
that used to be a bad prognostic sign, and now we have a monoclonal antibody, so we actually can improve your survival. So 73% of breast cancers, if you were HER2 negative and HER2 positive, and the tumor was relatively big with the lymph node, there are a portion of that you may not have to treat. So those people are going to go off and get a gene profile. All right, now this next group, which is 13%, they have negative hormones. They are HER2 negative, triple negative. That's about as bad as you can get. That's wildfire cancer. But we do a great job with it because we are aggressive about chemotherapy, even with a small tumor. So they're not in the group that doesn't have to get treated. People that are HER2 positive and hormone positive and HER2 positive, they actually do quite well with the combined treatment of the monoclonal antibody and hormones. No chemotherapy at all. So what's new is fewer and fewer people are requiring chemotherapy because they have these markers. Now, only 5% of breast cancers are HER2 positive and hormone negative. But again, that group of patients quite frequently can get by without chemotherapy. So we go into our second bar graph. That 70 gene profile can divide you then into 3 groups. A low risk group, where your chances of having a recurrence without treatment, hormonal treatment or anything, is only 6.8%. Well, you don't want to give big time chemotherapy to somebody who's got less than a 7% chance of recurrence, that means that 93% of the people that got that tumor would be getting chemo they don't need, right?
Right.
The group that's in intermediate risk, and this depends really then upon your age and the patient's attitude, it's only about a 14 or 15% recurrence rate. So you have to sort of balance those patients about yes or no on chemo, and if it's yes on chemo, you want to give them less aggressive chemo. But if you fall in this high-risk group and you got a 30% chance of recurrence, that's like playing Russian roulette with 2 bullets in a 6-shot gun. That group of people you want to treat with chemotherapy. So what's new then that is driving, I haven't said a word about additional big-time surgery or radiation at this point. Just gene profiling, helping choose the exact treatment that is appropriate for you. And we call that individualized medicine. Remember, that's all over everything. All right, so the last one I want to show is kind of a complicated picture of one lump here.
Right.
And radiation. So this is just, I want to say a little bit about radiation. So we've said that we can give less surgery. Many people will get by without having to have chemotherapy. So surgery, chemotherapy, the third thing people talk about in treatment of cancer is radiation therapy. Well, radiation therapy has also made great strides in the last few decades because of physics and computers and the ability to target some tiny little place with high doses of radiation, which kill a bunch of tumor, and then by moving the light around or the machine around like that and focusing it on this spot, it frees everything else it goes through and keeps those things from getting damaged. So many people who have a lumpectomy to preserve the breast will require radiation therapy to the breast, along with the hormones, the genetic treatment, the HER2 new treatment, and the surgery. And they'll say, well, if I had my lump taken out, my lymph nodes taken out, and I got hormonal therapy, why do I need radiation? You still with me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the object is to conserve the breast. And if you have invasive breast cancer, positive lymph node, treated with the chemo and chemo and hormones, and do not radiate the breast, then the recurrence rate in the breast is much higher than we would accept, and then radiation that's easy to deliver, doesn't give you substantial side effects because of all that computer stuff, is then added at the end, we would consider to be a mop-up type of treatment. So that's the last of the big changes that have occurred in the last decade, is all this computer-generated, physics-dominated, and that's way past my sandbox, but we've got experts up in Blairsville and down in Canton that can do it. So each part of the puzzle, genetic risk, I've got a really high risk, diagnostic procedures with the mammography and the biopsies, surgery with sentinel lymph nodes, genetic profiling with individualized treatment, and then lastly radiation. All of those have made great strides. Is that enough about breast cancer? Is that enough about breast cancer?
That's enough about that. That's enough about that. Georgia Cancer Research Center.
That was a great question they gave. But by the way, there are 5-day conferences that are 9 hours a day just on that topic. So anybody try to do that in 20 minutes, kind of hard.
Well, you pushed a lot into the 20 minutes, but it was great information, and we appreciate you very much for that. And we thank you for these great questions. And also, again, Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital. If you have a question for Dr. Whaley, send it to us, info, I-N-F-O, at fetchernews.com. Put in the subject line, Ask the Doc, and we'll get it over to Dr. Whaley. Our second question, and I find the second question interesting because it's just the other day I was watching TV, and this is one of those that they are burning up the TV with this. And
There must be some profit in it, huh?
well, when I looked at this question, I said, wow, somebody else is out there seeing this commercial 90 times a day, all jokes aside. I am a 43-year-old woman, and I struggle with migraines. I have been seeing the commercial for Botox for migraine relief, and I want to know if this really can help me. I have used Imitrex and over-the-counter medication, but I still haven't found much relief. Great. I'm going to say great question because I want to know. I thought Botox was something else, but we'll get past that.
All right. I'm going to ask you if you can define for me what a migraine is.
No. That's a quick. No. I don't think I've ever had one. I've had a bad headache, but I don't think I've ever had one. So I have to say no very quickly.
Okay, that's basically got the first one up there for me, Josh. Can you define migraine without reading the slide? Okay. Unfortunately, many people consider a really bad headache to be a migraine. There are many types of headaches that are not migraines that are serious and debilitating where people can't work. So the classic of a migraine is, one, generally there is a prodrome before the headache occurs that can last for a day or two. Go to that next slide. Let's go stay with that one just a minute. Other types of headaches, the most common type of headache is a tension headache.
I've had all three of these.
Okay. Tension headache, which is generally a band around the head, because a migraine is going to be on one side only. Okay? If you look at that, it's on one side only. A cluster headache generally is a migraine type, but it's round behind the eye. It's also...
Well, I've said, and I don't mean to be rude, I've said, well, I've got a headache in my eye.
That's it. Okay, that's cluster.
But not...
okay.
So I've had all three. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, muscle contraction tension headache is the most common.
Right.
And when it's really severe and puts you down, frequently the doc or the ER doc will say, you got a migraine, they'll give them a shot of something, give them a pain pill and send them home. A migraine is generally going to be diagnosed by a neurologist or an internist with a particular interest and expertise in headache. And let's go to the next one now. It's going to have, I'll tell you, I've had one migraine in my life and it put me in the hospital. My mother has a lot of migraines. Okay. Generally there is a prodrome of 1 or 2 days, which is those are just non-specific viral-like symptoms, irritability, fatigue. There is generally an aura. Most commonly, the one they describe is seeing waves of light that do like dark waves of like that in your vision. One of your expert panel, when they have a migraine, has a big black spot in the vision, so that if you looked at that TV set right there that was turned on, you'd see a lot of the TV, and then right slap in the middle be a big black spot. Another one can be numbness or tingling around the face, inability to speak. That's the aura. That lasts about 10 to 30 minutes. What's happening then is the artery within the brain is going into a spasm like this and depriving a portion of the occipital cortex of blood. That then begins to go away, and the headache, which is when the artery dilates, begins to pound like crazy. That's each heartbeat, because what happens is an artery goes into spasm. You get this decreased blood flow in the brain somewhere that you see either as spots or whatever. Then it dilates and pounds with the heartbeat, and that's where the drug Imitrex and so forth are given. So there are medications to take at the prodrome to prevent it, which this patient does not mention. There are medications that constrict the artery once the prodrome is, that can stabilize the artery, and then once it starts dilating, it used to be that caffeine and ergotamine which constrict arteries and can cause you to have angina or something else, were given to bring the artery back down. Imitrex is just a more specific drug. Now, what this patient does not tell you here is how many headaches do they have a month? Are they under care of a neurologist? Have they had prodromal treatment, preventative treatment? But next to the Botox, show the Botox picture. Yes, indeed, there is Botox is available for migraines, but if you look real carefully, they don't tell you this on the TV. Botox injected to prevent headaches with chronic migraine must have 15 or more headaches a month. 15 or more of these headaches a month. Well, the average frequency of migraines is 1 to 3 a year, not 15 a month. And listening to this patient, I don't think that they've had 15 a month. So that TV ad,
15 migraines a month seemed like it would be like debilitating. You couldn't function.
You can't function. That's right. All right, so the drug is approved, and it's 15 or more days a month with a headache lasting 4 or more hours each day. Anyway, you're going to work 15 days a month if you're in bed with a migraine 4 hours or more each day, right? Plus, you got to be over 18, and you got to have a positive wallet biopsy and be able to pay the bill.
Positive wallet biopsy.
Yeah, right. So, yes. Prevention without meeting all of those criteria, 15 or more per month, 4 hours or more per event, and that'll have to be documented by a neurologist. So you can't get some family practitioner or chiropractor to say, hey, go get Botox for your migraine. So yes, there is a role, but I would tell that patient, because what it gets me is I struggle with migraines. And struggling with migraines is a miserable way to live. And I would say get your family practitioner to refer you to a neurologist. Let the neurologist confirm that you are having migraines and not repeated muscle contraction tension headaches. And then you come up with a very coordinated plan of prevention. There are preventive medications. There are abortive medications to take during the aura. And then there are drugs that you can take when that migraine hits you. So my advice to the patient there is, if you're struggling, that says it's interfering with the quality of your life, see a neurologist. There.
Well, and when I say that's enough for me, because I've been watching it on TV, it's in the commercials, and I want to thank you out there for sending that question, because when I say use for, that's up to the individual, but hear there's different uses for Botox that you personally want to use. But when it started telling me migraine, I thought, that's something you got to check out.
Yeah, I had a patient yesterday, by the way, who has vocal cord paralysis related to cancer treatment, who could not speak, who has had Botox injected into the vocal cord, and now can speak. I got another patient who had a motility discomfort with the esophagus and was unable to appropriately swallow and was losing weight, who went down to the specialty center and had Botox injected into the esophagus and now can eat. So Botox, rather than cosmetic, has many beneficial medical effects. Making the wrinkles go away on your face is fine, but if it makes the wrinkle go away on your vocal cord and you can speak, or the wrinkle go away in your esophagus and you can swallow, then Botox really is a valuable medical tool separate from its cosmetic effect.
Definitely some benefits there. Okay, well, at this time, what's new?
Okay, I got a couple
what's happening? What's developed?
I got a couple of quick things. We had another listener, I was going to say, send in a question about numbness in the legs, which we elected not to answer, and the staff are sending them the link to the last time we answered that question.
Okay.
I just want people to know that if you send the question, we don't answer it, and then you get an email back from the staff telling you to go to such and such a YouTube, it's been discussed before. All right, here's our, you can throw that up if you want, Josh, if it's not going to get too much. The very top news article last night was...
The last time America saw this many... measles outbreak, 1,000 cases,
Yeah.
CDC.
All right, the last time America had that many cases was 1992. All right, that's back before we'd eradicated measles. And we're getting deaths now. So it's not a joke. And I keep coming back to the people that are sitting back over there behind me about the immunizations. The measles thing. Measles things have got to get taken care of. All right, and the last one here, this is for you, BKP. What's that say right there?
Balloons, pills, sleeves, weight loss options,
Weight
grow.
loss options grow. Everybody wants a B12 shot to make them feel young and sexy, or they want some pill to make them lose 30 pounds or whatever. So there's a huge profit motive in different surgical procedures, or putting a balloon in your stomach or a band around your stomach to help people lose weight. And 6 different balloon products that go in through an endoscope and go into your stomach will be hitting the medical market in the next few months to a year. They all are 10 grand or so a crack. They all have multiple side effects, and they all are successful in losing 5 to 7% of your body weight. Whereas the gastric bypass, generally you would lose 18 to 20% of your body weight. But they all are linked to what other weight loss drugs say, an increase. They're more successful if you increase your exercise and if you alter your intake of carbohydrates and calories. So you're going to, just like that Botox ad, you're going to start seeing ads in the next few months or a year about these procedures. There are 10,000 to 15,000 apiece. They aren't paid for by insurance. And we have a lot of people in this community who've gone down to Mexico to have the sleeve put in. There's no quick fix for weight loss, and it still gets back to diet, exercise, carbohydrate restriction, and calories. And it's like that Botox ad for the migraines. I discourage its use without trying the other stuff first. Is that enough?
That's enough. I appreciate that. Folks, don't forget, one, we want to thank Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital, for this segment. As Dr. Whaley was mentioning earlier, if you will go to our YouTube channel, FYN TV, Fetch Your News, find the playlist Ask the Doc. We have done, I'm going to say maybe 100 episodes, maybe more, but we have answered so many questions. So we do understand you're going to bring questions that, hey, we will do them again, approach them from a different way, or if the doctor has your age, male, female, and details, he can really, drill down in the answer. But if you are looking for something specific, allergies, pollen, legs hurt, you can research our playlist, Ask the Doc, on our YouTube channel, and he answers so many things out there that you can go to now and share with your friends. So we just want to let you know that. But we want to hear your questions. We want to have your questions sent to us, info at fetchernews.com, and put in the subject line, Ask the Doc. And also our social media. You see, if you're a member, if you've joined our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, Fetch Your News, you will see multiple times throughout the week a reminder about Ask the Doc. If you put a question on there, we will look at the social media, try to find it off there. So don't hesitate. Let us know. Thank you, Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital. Thank you, Dr. Whaley. I appreciate it. Thank you for your tie. Thank you for your service, okay? And we're going to be back with the All-Star panel. Now, Ricky's been in the Himalayas or climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. We don't know. He's been somewhere, right? But he is back. He is ready. Bruce has his folder, and I'm sure Jane's watched some YouTube videos. So if we put all that together, that's called the All-Star panel right after these messages.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Yes, you might be driving with the windshield wipers on all weekend, but you know what? Our farmers need it. We're good. I'm here with Jane. Rick's back from wherever. He'll tell us in a minute.
Rick.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. JR's over there.
Thanks, JR.
And Bruce is here, as always, and we are the All-Star Political Panel. I want to say thank you to all the new viewers out there. And
wait, we got new viewers?
Did you ask Bruce not to? And I want to say thank you to the new viewers out there. I know some of you have sent me messages. You watched the baseball tournament last week, and then you watched a couple episodes of the show. We appreciate it. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Eckert out there in Northern California. How you doing? Great conversation. I enjoyed it. Okay, so let me pick which one of the three of you I think should be in prison. Well, you know, Nancy said she'd like to. I'd like to see. What's that guy right there? We just send him to Rikers Island with Paul Manafort. Oh,
even
my God.
AOC stood up for him. Said no one should be at Rikers.
No
one should be in solitaire. Is what she said.
The only way to open up the show is just they have lost their mind. I know we say it every week, but they have totally lost their mind.
Nervous Nancy.
Rick, glad
She's
to have
a
you back.
disaster. She's nasty.
Glad to be back.
So, what do we want to go with first? Now, we can go with the trip abroad that has messed the media up because those are the allies that Trump, seems like just 2 years ago, destroyed our relationship with, that rolled out the red carpet. And it seems like he's had a very successful trip abroad, and they don't know what to do with it. The media doesn't know what to do with it. They're
Last time I heard, they didn't want to invite him to the wedding, and you know it was a mess when they got. They just hate Trump, and now the Queen was just really.
I don't think the Queen ever hated
rolled him out. Oh.
Yeah, the Queen is above all that stuff.
Oh,
I mean,
please!
No,
That's a
she's always
mean
neutral.
woman. That's a mean little old woman.
Oh, she's a mean
little.
Come
on.
She's
Hadn't you read all the books?
All right, okay.
Do you see the stuff what like her sisters and the parents did during the war? I mean, they were part of.
Oh, they did a lot. She was a mechanic. They worked at the war.
Yeah.
Well, let's say this, because I agree with you. There's a lot they don't tell in history, obviously, that they don't discuss that happened in World War II, and they don't talk about with. Is it Roosevelt or Roosevelt? My dad, it's Roosevelt.
Just do FDR.
Right?
You'll be
FDR.
So Roosevelt and Churchill. So there's so much in history that they just touch on the outside edges that they don't go into.
Well, Philip's family was all, they were Nazis. His sisters married high-ranking Nazis.
Right.
They were, yeah. And, it gets a little fishy in there.
Exactly. But that being said, the Queen is 93. The Queen knows what World War II was like. She lived through it. She was actually a mechanic through it. And she smiled a lot. And my opinion that I've said on the show is, you got to talk about this young queen, very young, and Winston Churchill is the first guy that shows up and says, "Here's your weekly government papers that you're supposed to look at." And Donald Trump, to me, reminds her she has not seen anybody like that since Winston Churchill. That's just my opinion. I think she really likes the guy.
That's an interesting.
What say you?
I mean, I agree with you. We watched everything over there, and it was interesting because we were getting it closer to 4 hours behind the U.S. So we were able to see it during regular hours. We didn't have to get up in the middle of the night. But I agree. I mean, the first time I've ever seen that CNN guy, what's his name?
Jim Acosta.
Acosta?
Yesterday on the speech.
I mean, it was like, what is that the real Jim Acosta?
Well, they had to because they know they were getting pulverized by the media over there, who was very glowing. And so they're going, okay, we can't be second fiddle to these guys, so we got to, eat some crow and say,
well,
how is CNN Europe saying different stuff than CNN US?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what you're getting at, and I agree with you, is our media hid what their media was actually reporting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in London, which we think in New York City, very liberal, a Muslim city, right? Majority of London is now, my understanding, is Muslim. Muslim mayor, whether you like it or not, it's not being controversial. The short little guy, Saeed, is the short little mayor of London, is a Muslim. I agree with Trump. He's a short little guy. He's Muslim. He's an angry little mayor. But that being said, London is as liberal
to
as can
coin
be.
it properly, he's a stone cold loser.
Stone cold loser. Yeah.
Doing a terrible job.
But anyhow, they were trying, and our media was loving it, and they were trying to build up that they would be 250,000 in the streets. Now, realistically, I'm thinking I heard, 10, 15,000 or maybe.
Yeah.
That's a lot, but that was really short.
Underwhelming.
Of the 250,000 that they were trying to tell us would happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like 90% short.
Yeah. So how upset were you that Trump called Meghan Markle nasty? Did that ruin your week?
Well, I heard the whole explanation. So he was just saying, I didn't know she had been nasty.
Right.
But it's like he didn't really know that much about her.
Everything's so taken out of context.
Did you see what our media did with that?
Oh my God.
I believe the American people are through with him. I really do. I really do. In large part, I believe a lot of the American people are through with him because I was sitting there and I'm watching at 5 o'clock in the morning the door open to Air Force One. You know how they have it and they got the camera on it, right? Mm-hmm. And President has touched down with an etiquette disaster. It's on the bottom of CNN's screen. He's broke diplomatic protocol already. It's all over the screen. MSNBC, CNN. The door's open. He's touched down. He's coming to the door, and they're talking about this. How will he be received at the palace after calling the princess nasty? No, he didn't call her nasty. There's a couple different ways to use nasty. Get in there and wash your nasty hands. Okay? There's a nasty girl at that dance club. And I didn't
We're
know.
doing the nasty.
Doing the nasty. That goes with the dance club. And then, wait a minute, Bruce, this is true. If you watch it, and then there's I didn't realize you were nasty about that.
Yeah.
And that's what Trump did. But if you watch, no, I took so many pictures of it. I screenshot all of them. They would put nasty in the quotations, and they did it for 2 to 3 days. And Prince Harry steered clear. They don't talk about all the pictures with Harry and the Obamas and stuff like that. Who cares? Oh, 7th in line from the throne. I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. But they ran with that 3 days like it was top story.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you. I wasn't able to see any of the shows. I'm a pretty regular viewer. Did you do that nasty routine in one of the shows during the week?
Absolutely. In fact, I did some things much more offensive than that. I called.
I'm looking at Josh over there, and he's going, "Oh boy!"
Is that how you got the new viewers?
Well, I said something about Stacey. I called Stacey. I named Stacey Abrams something I should not have.
Uh-oh.
But I can't do it again.
You do it again.
She's at the Bilderberg meeting. Did you know
She is?
What?
Are you kidding
Well, she
me?
flew out. Yes. She flew out to Hollywood.
My God.
Are you serious?
Stacey flew
How did
out.
she get invited to
Oh
that?
my, that's a serious bad sign. I mean,
Listen,
if
somebody
she's in
paid
with those
Stacey
guys,
flew out to
we're in
Hollywood. Stacey
trouble.
Abrams flew out to Hollywood to talk to them, to calm them down about Georgia. But if they couldn't calm down, send us the money to run, the Democrats.
Is that why the 4 of them were here yesterday?
Yeah, she went out to Hollywood. I think I was totally wrong for calling her a chocolate milk cow. I think I was wrong. It shouldn't happen. I should never do that again.
You
Was that
deviated.
milk or dark?
You deviated from the water buffalo.
Yes, I went from watermelon. Rick, and most of my problems, you egg me on. You're encouraged.
I had to ask the question.
You're like when I got home. You're like when I was 8 years old and I got home from school and
Wish
I
I
got
thought
in
of
trouble. Mom, Rick wouldn't shut up at school today. No, I shouldn't say that. That was wrong. Just
Have you
saying.
heard from the NAACP?
Not yet, not
Southern
yet.
Poverty
I'm
Law
waiting
Center.
for
right.
Al Sharpton and Jesse to show up now.
SCLC?
But no, Stacey goes out there. But no, I'm tired of that crap. I don't care if they like what I say or not. I mean, she goes out to Hollywood. Look, if Hollywood does not want to film here, I had a guy put a great thing on. Go up to New York and go to California and give them half your money.
They said New York, the Hudson
Yeah.
River Valley.
Go up there
They're
and give them
there
half your money.
angling for all
and
the
be
movie
happy.
stuff.
So let's move on from that to nasty and stuff like doing the nasty and the 8 different ways you can look at nasty that our American media spent 3 days on. Pelosi, the president should be in prison. What say you on that one?
Outrageous.
Oh.
Just people keep saying they're terrified, they're scared to death.
They are.
Yeah, I hope they are, but I don't know if they're scared to death or I don't know. They have lost.
Or they're just
I've
numb.
never seen anything
No,
like
they're
it.
in a total mess. Democrats are in a total
They're
mess.
in a mess.
Well, and supposedly Pelosi is doing this because she knows to say things to get under his skin, to elicit response. Like
he's
he
in a
did.
cover up, and
Now he said stuff back at her, slap back, sitting there at the D-Day
Do
cemetery.
you actually believe Nancy's bringing them back, or they're just playing the rope-a-dope? That
She's stringing it out.
Yeah,
she's stringing it out.
I don't think her and Nadler are in a room fighting over it. I think they go in a room and say, what's the plan? You go out, you keep saying you want it,
Yeah.
you keep those 56 wanting it, boom, then I'll go out and say, no, we can't, okay? Make it. I believe that's the game.
Do you think AOC is really running her or has a lot of influence over Nancy?
No.
Not at
AOC's
all.
a loose cannon.
She is a loose cannon. I don't
media-
know if
the
she's
media-
intimidating. I really didn't know how
The
to
media, I think, is just running that narrative that AOC is
influencing
is pulling
Nancy
Nancy
and kind
strings.
of has the thing up.
Yeah,
think
you talk about a nasty person
Oh.
from her upbringing. That is a nasty woman right there.
Her daughter said she'll cut your head off and just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never before
we're
you
back
knew
on
she
Pelosi.
was
Yeah,
Pelosi with.
do
See, I
something.
believe they're in a total. I believe Democrats are in an absolute total mess. They don't know which way to turn. I think if the election is held today, Trump will win in a landslide. I think he's going to have enough coattails to bring the Republican Party back into the leadership, and they're scared to death of it. I think they're in a total mess. See,
They have no viable candidate right now.
No, they don't.
They do not have a viable
I will
candidate.
tell you this, and you can say what you want. You can make a joke out of it, laugh. I either live in a world all by myself, or I live in the real world. And I might not live in the real world. I might be all by myself.
I
over
think
here.
you got a foot in both.
I like it. I like it. Remember that. Write that
You're
down.
straddling the line, baby.
Got it, baby. But my thing is, if you want me to believe that the Democrats want a pasty 76-year-old white guy that is touchy-feely, creepy, what would you call it?
Plagiarizer.
Plagiarist, whatever.
Again.
If you want me to believe that the African-American community says we want this pasty 76-year-old white guy, creepy old guy, you're totally wrong. There's no way. You're going to get me to believe in the real world that the American people said, yes, let's go with Joe.
Do you think he'll even make it to the debates? No. I think he's going to.
Really, tell me what you think there, because they're doing everything to run his cover and keep him. Because, okay, Joe came out as this major front runner. Now think of what he's already survived that other people can't. Joe's already survived what? The Anita Hill thing, right, with his party. They came out and said, how will he get past the way he treats? That's done, right?
Yeah.
The creepy, touchy-feely, that's done.
Well, they're getting everything done early.
Right? Ukraine, right? China.
That ain't done yet.
That ain't done.
Okay, it's not done, but let's not say done, because I understand what that means, but let's say he's surviving them right now.
He's surviving against the other candidates.
Right.
Once
when
he
I say
gets-
other
I tell you
Democrat.
what, if he wins the nomination, which I don't think he will, but if he does, he
They're
will
trying
get
to make sure he
absolutely
does.
annihilated.
They're trying to make sure he does. They're doing everything they can to make sure he does.
Yeah, but I think the Republican opposition groups haven't turned up the heat yet.
No, they haven't.
I got you on that.
They're
Let's
sitting
stay
back and-
focused. I agree with
Letting
you.
him make a bigger
No,
fool
I'm
of
not saying it's
himself.
done. I'm saying look at the things he's getting through on the Democrat side.
Yeah.
Okay, he's getting through all that. So he dropped.
They're calling him Hayden Biden for a reason. I mean, he's not making any appearances. He did the little fundraiser. And
Think of
something-
him with a debate against Donald Trump. I mean,
You're jumping past the primary.
Yeah.
Don't
It's just
take
fun
that
to
wrong.
think
He
about.
has. Why is that wrong? He's already jumped past the primary.
No. No.
He's not
What
doing
I'm saying is
he's
our
not-
and Bernie
discussion.
thinks they have it in the, they have him in the bag.
Well, update. I mean, you track all this stuff. Who's qualified for? Aren't the first Dem debates next week?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know what's
Really?
disgusting?
Who's qualified?
Not
It's
many.
what's disgusting is everything they are saying, and it's all a Democrat candidate will get on the stage or go out there and they'll say all of them, we got to get corporate money out. We've got to not have money run our elections.
130,000 donors or something.
Money is running whether they get on the stage.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I watched that town hall with Chris Wallace the other night with Kirsten Gillibrand.
Oh.
It was absolutely disgusting what she did for about 8 minutes on the NRA so she could get donors. Mm-hmm. She's still short, so she could get donors. I want to go back to Biden for just a second on that. I agree 100%. Once he gets the Donald Trump's, all right, he's gone. But right now, the DNC is definitely doing everything they can to make Trump their candidate. They are. The DNC
to make Biden.
Biden, their candidate. Sorry.
They are.
They're trying to do everything to make Biden their
Unbelievable,
candidate.
too.
Nothing has changed at the DNC since Hillary. Nothing. They're as corrupt. They're picking their candidate. The Democrats are in the same position we were in 2016, and we broke it with Trump. They're in the same position. Hillary, now Biden. So Biden comes out, and he's immediately got this major polling number up here. Okay? Then he dropped a little bit. What did they do? They immediately came out on the news 2 days ago with 2 states, one particularly Texas, that they're saying Biden polls to win Texas.
You know what?
On purpose, they're doing it.
I don't think Biden would ever poll to win. I can't believe
We
that.
know it's
But
all
I
lies.
think why, it just dawned on me, why they may be supporting Biden and want him to be the nominee, because they can control him. They can't control Kamala Harris. They can't control You know, I think they could. He would be an
I don't know so much
absolute
about-
wishy-washy.
I don't know so much about that. You know, any of them are
She's
going to fall
much
into
more
the middle.
strong. I mean, all of them are more strong than Biden. He's just a wimp.
Yeah, but I think
Rad.
the DNC views him as like a more middle of the road to win the national.
I know
versus
that.
all
but
these left of center primary.
Well,
they
look
really
at
think
what,
he
look at what
can
Biden's
win?
done already. I mean, let me tell you something. Whether you're out there and you're religious or not, or you have faith or not, whatever it may be, if you believe in it today, please believe in it tomorrow. I get tired of these Catholics that throw their religion under the bus to get. I mean, you got so many of these Catholics that the priest won't even do confession with them, or won't even give them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some bishop just banned.
Well, look what Biden did yesterday. He's a devout Catholic. He went against the Hyde Amendment. Now, Henry Hyde, strangely from Illinois,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
1976, the Hyde Amendment. The American people say, hey, if you want an abortion, we're not paying for it. And for those of you that don't know that, the Hyde Amendment was put in 1976 to say, you know what? Federal tax money cannot be spent for abortion.
Yep.
Right? What did Biden do in Atlanta yesterday? I'm a devout Catholic. I'm for the Hyde Amendment. There's all these things. And he threw it under the bus yesterday. I'm no longer for the Hyde Amendment. All right, go
The
ahead.
only thing I brought.
Bring it up. Go, Rick.
Mr. Biden, as a senator from Delaware, made a similar case to Henry Hyde's in 1986, telling UPI if it's not government's business, then you have to accept the whole of that concept, which means you don't prescribe your right to have an abortion and you don't take your money to assist someone else to have an abortion.
That's right.
In the beginning of May, he said to a reporter, he says, yeah, we're going to throw the Hyde Amendment out.
He said it yesterday, very clear.
Yeah.
Pressure from the libs.
Yeah.
He got pressured into flipping.
Well, he
That's
just,
what a
he
wishy-washy
has not
is.
got a rudder. They're his rudder. He
You're
does
absolutely
whatever
correct.
they say.
He doesn't
That's
have
a
a
good way
motor
to
either.
put
He
it.
doesn't have a motor either. But he has had a facelift, have y'all noticed?
How many times?
I don't know, but there's a recent one. mean,
I don't look at stuff like that.
Oh, well, I do. He's
Well,
so
you
vain.
should.
He's so vain. You know that song, He's So Vain? He's that. He comes out in his pilot, his
Aviators.
Aviator things,
Yeah.
and his smile. He knows he's got a fabulous smile. He's just so conceited.
I'll tell you what, I'm with Trump. He's a low energy candidate because I'm going to tell you something, man. I'll look at this
Biden,
camera.
Biden, I love
Lower
it.
than Jet.
I'm going to look at the
Bush.
camera and tell you, when I get Donald Trump's age, if I can do whatever that man, I got to give it to that guy, boy. I don't know if he's getting them B12 shots or what he's getting, but the
He
Donald.
sleeps like 4 hours.
Oh my God, that guy nonstop.
Yeah, so he'll be coming back today and probably be doing something on the weekend.
Yep, probably got
Well,
it.
he said Nancy's a disaster. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Nervous Nancy's a disaster.
She's a total disaster. They're a disaster. I have two subjects, and I apologize for maybe being a little overbearing this morning or in my whole entire life. But anyhow, I have two subjects. One, this year marked the 30 years of Tiananmen Square.
Yep.
Really?
And as you know, I like to study the media, and and they did a whole day. They did report after report on how the Chinese government is erasing everything about Tiananmen Square,
Rewriting history.
from their books to everything. And they even had I watched a report with one lady. They were going up to kids at Tiananmen Square, 18, 19, and asking them, and they would show them pictures of the tanks, and the kids had no idea what it even is. Okay, so my point is our media went after the Chinese from erasing history, and I did this on my show. I said, folks, in 10 years, you're going to walk up to an 18-year-old and show them what a Confederate flag is, and they're not going to know what it is. Do you know how much stuff we erase from our history every single day?
And if you saw the school books of the children, the history books, like this, my nephew is now a principal, but he taught history for many years in Arkansas, and he said the Civil War is a page and a half. And then they said you can't teach the Civil War, and so he said he was furious. And then he said he started teaching Reconstruction, and you can't teach Reconstruction without teaching the Civil War, and he taught it. He didn't get in trouble. But we ask our college grandchildren, why are we celebrating Memorial Day? And one of them said, Granddaddy, I don't really know. She's at Cornell. I mean, that means she's smart.
So you get 100% what I'm saying. We went after the Chinese for that. You know, you've seen, we went after them for erasing that history.
They're just not.
And we're erasing history every single day in
But
this
they don't
country.
want them to know our history, to have any patriotism or
Right.
understand what this country had to go through to get their independence. They haven't got a clue.
All right, let me ask you a second question. I know the president was abroad, but last Friday, as we were here later in the day last Friday, a guy walks in, Virginia Beach city office building,
City Hall,
and kills 12 co-workers, murders 12 co-workers. Now, I don't want to say one less, two less, but or it makes a difference.
One wasn't a
death is
co-worker.
enough.
One was someone there just getting a permit, but
Okay, 11 co-workers and a permit.
yeah, innocent bystander.
But the point is what was that? 12 is only 5 less than Parkland School. I don't mean it that way. Where's it at on the news?
It's been
What?
on a little.
Very little.
It's kind of like the Las Vegas thing, you know.
Where's it
They-
at?
They're investigating,
Now,
and,
here's
they,
what I
and they don't know
love.
anything yet.
Here's what I love is now the media's taking the moral high ground. So Friday this happens. It's Sunday I watched all the morning shows. And I got George Stephanopoulos, okay?
Snuffleupagus?
Yeah. I got him looking at the camera and saying, we will not highlight, we will not put the picture up of the killer or give his name. We will not highlight that. Wait a minute. Why? Because he's not a creepy white kid that has a manifesto or has an AR-15 he got out of his dad's closet. Why will you not? Because all these other things, you're very quick to put the picture up and start breaking it down. And
It seems to be a new mode they moved into, you know, not to publicize.
I can tell you why. The guy is a black guy. He's an engineer. He worked there. It doesn't fit any of the narrative. He had handguns.
he was using a 45.
They were all allowed. They were all. Everything he did was legal. He didn't fit any narrative that they needed.
Yeah.
Right, to
Do you
exploit it.
understand?
To exploit it. They just couldn't.
I mean, where are the satellite trucks? Where's the 3 days? Where is the? Oh my God!
I never realized. I mean, being away from.
All this.
I didn't realize he was black.
I didn't either. I didn't realize
Exactly,
he was black.
right, Josh? I mean,
Yeah.
I put it up. I'm not
Did you?
highlighting him.
Yeah,
I'm not
after a couple days. I mean, it finally came out. They gave the guy's
Right.
name, and you know, but I didn't see that on the major news. I saw it on the internet.
Exactly. I did it on my show, and we said clearly, Josh will tell you, we said we're not doing it to highlight. I'm just asking, what? The guy doesn't fit any of the narrative they need. I mean, it's just so disgusting. These people are absolutely disgusting. Our media, it doesn't fit any narrative. 12 people are dead. Now, guess what happens? The governor of Virginia, this racist, kill 'em baby governor in Virginia,
Nothing.
is calling for a special session for the Virginia State Legislature. And when does he do it? He does it with Choke'em Lord Fairfax. Okay?
Choke.
Well, you know what I mean?
Oh, jeez.
Choke him and poke him.
I just got a really bad visual.
Sorry, I can't help it. And Choke'em Lord Fairfax, you'll be okay, sweetheart. You know, and he's standing there with women that allegedly he's raped, and they can't get a hearing. But he's going to do a hearing. I mean, he's going to bring a special session of the Virginia State Legislature. You know what he says he doesn't want? He doesn't want thoughts and prayers. He wants laws. I don't
There
know.
you go.
I'm sorry.
Jackson.
That's
You
the
know,
bottom line.
All right, Bruce.
It's a classic response to these events. You know, they always have to roll out a law, or like, you know, get everybody together and talk about gun control, and that's exactly what he was talking about. You know, extended magazines, suppressors, da 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 da. I mean,
Can I roll with something real quickly?
You guys take over.
You guys take over.
I got it back.
It just seems like yesterday you and I were sitting down at your place. Sycamore Crossing, sitting in front of Tupelo Tea on a trip that I took over to the UK a week before Brexit.
Yes.
We talked about it
Yes.
because I talked to folks over there.
Yes, I remember.
I revisited that whole thing because we had a huge group of Brits on the trip that we just finished. So I befriended this couple. We were going to do a tour with them. It's a Jeep excursion, 4 people in a Jeep. You go out, and these were our people. So I just sat down. Where are you from? We're from just Southampton. Oh, really? What do you do? Well, I just sold my company. Congratulations. Hope you're enjoying your retirement. Da 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 da. I said, let me ask you, if I could. And he looks at me and he goes, you want to know about Brexit, don't you?
Sure.
I said, hey, I'm hands off if you don't want to go there. We do a little political show on Friday, and, I'd like to get your perspective. And I could go into all the detail because he was an absolute Brexit lover. He wanted out. He was a guy that was a capitalist. He had a company, he sold it, made a lot of money, bought a lot of nice cars, and now he's enjoying life. I talked to another gal. She was a transplant bartender from Ireland. What do you think about Brexit? If we get rid of Brexit, we're screwed. You can put lipstick on that pig any way you look at it, but when you come right down to it, it's all about the same thing. It's the have-nots that want the benefits. She's from Northern Ireland. They're getting all the benefits, and they're hardly putting anything into the gig. But you got the Brits over there who are the fourth in line as to the amount of money that they put into Brexit, and they're not getting anything. They're not getting any benefits. What is the difference with what we're doing over here? You've got those that want the social programs that aren't contributing, and then there's the contributors that are providing all the social programs. You can take Venezuela, you can take Brexit, you can take the U.S. It's all the same to me. It just kind of hit me, and I said, it's all the same across the board.
Yeah, and you're not going to change the mind of the have-not because they've been so used to getting money.
It's the haves providing for the have-nots, and once those have-nots get in control, it's over.
Well, this dovetails into that no one knows history because the young kids have no idea really what communism is. All they see is we're going to get free everything. They have no idea how it gets really one-sided, and the have-nots have less than have-not. No medical care. You wait 2 years. They don't want to hear it, even if someone wants to tell them. Yeah. They don't know it. They don't want to hear it.
And socialism to them is basically the government doing a bigger job of doing things for them.
Nannying us, It's right. And we're in trouble because they're going to be leading this thing, and
well, not
even
for a while,
10
but
years
think,
or
10, 15 years, it's going to be
we'll
really brutal.
This guy wanted out. He wanted out at all costs. He said, this is the third try. It's unbelievable how you vote something and they don't impose it. They want to redo on everything. I mean, we're going through the same crap over here. We want to redo on the Trump election.
I will say some of the good news. What would I say? Is some of the things that we have been isolated from in the past in certain areas, it's now showing up. I mean, I read an article and I watched a KTLA report 59,000 homeless in LA County. 59,000. I read and I watched a report out there. And I mean, our cities are a disaster. Bruce, what subject you have there? You want to?
I didn't know if we were getting close.
Yeah, we're close to
winners and losers.
But I didn't know if there was a subject this morning.
No, I just have winners and losers.
Well, let me throw this out. Tariffs. You okay with what Trump's doing?
Yep.
I love it. Say it again. Yep. You drew it right out there.
Look how quick the Mexicans got up to Washington
Absolutely.
and started talking. And, the 6,000 troops.
6,000 troops, and he's a winner.
Yep.
And those idiot rhinos, I mean, can you get more infuriated?
These senators have
Any
never run
more
a business in their life. They have no idea.
But they're all responding to, constituents.
So you're okay with
farmers.
it? You okay with it?
Well, that's one time
Well, no,
when they
but I mean,
want to. They don't always
we
respond
would
to
prefer not to.
Yeah.
But hey, hey, look, Trump won a court case. He could actually declare that emergency and shift that money for the wall.
I thought
and
he
he
already
won that.
did.
No, we won that case.
Yeah.
He did,
Yeah,
but
he did.
they took us to court.
And the scary
Yeah, they
thing
did.
is, like, all this, 140,000 people came, across the borders in May.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ones who they, stopped.
Yeah, those are the ones they caught.
You don't know how many others came across and all the
Exactly.
wide open choke points and all the other crap they brought with them. I mean, it's amazing.
Then they broke the story about the ISIS was planning on bringing in all these people to.
Don't you wish our media and these senators would have been as vocal and public about when we were sending our jobs there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was all in the guise of, globalization. We have to spread the money around.
That's what I'm talking about in
Bill
this
Clinton.
Brexit thing.
Oh, so we
you
sent
spread
Ford
the
and
money
Chevy
around,
down
you
there,
have
and
open
now
borders.
They're going to have a problem getting back.
Well,
Ate it for you.
I mean, a number of these liberal commentators are always talking about, well, we have to go to Guatemala and help them get their economy back on their feet. Why is that our role?
That just sends me into orbit. I want to ask a question.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I got to say something right there before I forget.
All right.
Throughout the week now, when things happen, I'm visualizing you stomping around the kitchen.
Stomping around the kitchen.
Right? I'll say something will happen. I say, I'm going to, Jane, you're in so much trouble.
I've been
Jane's-
stamping a little bit.
So I'll say Jane's stamping around the kitchen now.
And you would be right. But so the picture we've all seen 1,000 times, the video, is all those immigrants just walking through the fence. I guess there's just a portal.
That black and white picture?
Black and white.
Yeah.
And they come and they're all standing. If we have the dadgum picture, why isn't anyone stopping them? I mean, was it they couldn't get anyone over there? They're just saying, look at that. Oh, yeah, that's what's happening.
And they all just lined up, and just waited to be processed.
Like it was the band coming
My
from Wilson High
understanding
School.
is that our men and women on the border are overwhelmed. That's what I mean.
There wasn't enough. I mean, they
just-
couldn't get a helicopter there. Then what would they do? So I thought, what would they do? Surround them? They have 4 guys that go in a helicopter, and there's how many were there? There 1,000?
Over 1,000.
Yeah. So what do? You can't start shooting them? I mean, it's just.
I don't know. Trump's already
start
killed.
shooting.
Trump's already killed 7 kids. I mean, why
yeah.
not? I mean, it's just what I mean. 7 have died.
But to your point, though, they say they're involved with so much of this processing stuff.
Yeah, it's
60% of
horrible.
them are involved with processing.
Housing them,
So they're not
feeding
out in the wide open desert areas where they know the coyotes bring drugs and people across.
All right,
It's
air
a-
shots, flat tires, whatever you call it this day. but-
Airball.
Airball. One of these days I'm going to get it, Bruce.
Yeah, airball. Well, you'll probably appreciate this, but YouTube seems to be demonetizing
Yep.
people they don't agree with
Crowder.
more and more.
Right.
And it's all about censorship and control. Okay, home run. I kind of got 2. Tied to D-Day. I think the men and women of D-Day, the veterans, and everybody associated with that effort certainly are the best of all the nations that were involved. So we certainly have to take off our hat and remember them.
Absolutely.
And the funny little thing was did you see the 93-year-old vet that was flirting with Melania?
Oh, I get it. I'm like, I love it,
And the
man.
president just rolled with it. He goes, "This is fine. She can handle it."
Hey,
Yeah, you can handle it.
So that's it.
Which leads me into my winner of the week, which is Melania Trump. I mean, if you watch that woman
Elegant.
carry herself
Elegant.
overseas in every event that she does, but especially this last one with the state dinner and the way she was dressed and the way she carried herself, I mean, absolutely a all-time winner. And my loser's another woman, Ilhan Omar. I think she's got a little bit of a problem these days with the IRS and maybe with the giving back some money on the campaign trail. I think what's going to happen is they're going to find, because she did 2 joint returns with 2 different men, one of whom
That's fraud.
One of whom was her husband, one of whom was her brother that she claims that she married,
Right.
that no one will acknowledge. I think this is all going to come out now.
I hope she's in Rikers, and I don't.
What about Elijah Cummings' wife?
Elijah Cummings' wife is another one. She didn't make the cut, but she's another one. Head of the Democratic Party in Baltimore,
Maryland.
Maryland. Excuse me, thank you. And she's under scrutiny big time
for funneling money from a charity
commingling
the
funds.
Same Elijah Cummings that says we have to start educating the American people about impeachment. Saying that, I would love to see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's tax returns to see if she,
misappropriated
those tips. If those tips she was getting, she, put those on that tax return. All those bar tips she was getting.
She's a very accomplished bartender, though.
She what? She said she's.
What say you? Don't get sidetracked with him. He's just trying to cause problems over there.
Well, I just have one comment that Bill, my husband, told me this morning, and it's about reinventing history and rewriting history. He said that he had just read an article where the Germans now are starting to celebrate Memorial Day because now their story is that we came over there to liberate them, the German people.
Liberate them from the control of Hitler?
Yeah. So they're kind of bringing that in, and you wonder how many of them were really in the resistance. But they're just putting that, highlighting that aspect.
Little different spin.
Little different.
Well, we usually say liberating France and defeating the Germans.
That's what we usually say.
Right, and
we don't
they're
say
conquering the idea.
They're wanting to be recognized as that we also liberated them. Is that what you're getting?
Yes, that's what I'm trying.
We want to be a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else? Because your watch is flashing like it's telling you to say something else, or is that
This thing tells me I've fallen. Have you fallen? I've just clapped to something.
No, you're still right here. Are
you haven't
finished?
changed.
I'm finished.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm
All right, folks.
Wrap it up.
Here it comes the big wrap up.
Yes, I'm ready.
Stand by.
No interruptions, please.
Get this man a cup
That's
of
usually
coffee.
for Bruce. No interruptions. One, first of all, if you haven't guessed by now, the media has lied to you about everything where your president's concerned. It doesn't matter what it is. The 2018 elections, remember, that was just a campaign thing for Trump. He was trying to play on your fears that there was a crisis and a caravan at the border. Now the media seems to think there's a crisis. They tried to lead you to believe for years, 2 of them, that he has destroyed all of our relationships with our allies. Well, they don't know what to do with that. They lied about the Russian collusion. You name it, they lie. Period. Everything they've done. Now they're hanging on the word nasty. Let's get past that. Here's what I want to finish up by saying. There's 2 things that I thought about. I watched the D-Day. I was very fortunate to get up yesterday morning. It started 5:30 live. I got to watch it live. I don't get a lot of opportunities to say something positive about the French, but I'm going to say President Macron did a really good job, and it was very emotional for me when he turned and thanked our 90-some-year-old veterans. That being said, I listened to the president's speech. There's a couple minor takeaways I want you to expand and think about. These guys are 93 years old, okay? They're 93. They landed that day because they love their country. Love their country. Could you love your country enough? And I was thinking about that. 93. I wasn't, these guys at 18, could you love your country enough? So that day they landed at 18, 19 years old with the love of their country. Would they have ever thought that on the 75th anniversary that they would be honored and respected from a man that loves his country as much as they did that day? And that's Donald J. Trump. So if those guys are sitting there at 93, the love they had to go on that shore, our president of the United States honored them, a man that truly loves his country. It just meant a lot. I pulled all that together. I was thinking, Donald Trump just truly loves this country. Now, here's the thing the media can't take, is Donald Trump loves this country so much that over in Europe, he's inspired people over there to love their country as much. And that's got them messed up, because that's what's happening now over in England and all these other countries, is they're saying, wait a minute, this guy loves his country so much and he thinks America first, why can't we do the same? And it's messing up the EU, the globalist, it's messing them totally up. They can't take it. I like it. I don't know about you. We're going to take a break. I've got Jessie Barton over here waiting in the wings. She's always waiting patiently. I keep telling her she's coming on at 9:30, and she keeps saying, really? Okay. And then we have the pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. I don't know how I came through on that, but we'll see. Take us a break.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, Georgia. It's now time for North Georgia Senior Living with Jessie Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall of LJ. Yes, we're usually downtown at Circuit, at Sycamore this time of year. But Jessie, we're going to have a little bit of rain this weekend. We're having it now, and
yeah, it was pretty heavy when I was driving up here. But it's okay.
It's nap weather.
It's nap weather. Our pool was starting to evaporate down a little bit, so it's filling it back up for us. So it's a good thing.
Well,
I like nap weather, but yeah.
Our dogs, they say, oh, wow, it's raining. You're going to be home with us. You're going to stay with us. We can take a lot of naps together. So I plan a long weekend with several naps.
Sounds
this
good.
Weekend. That's my big plans.
Yep. We were supposed to do an event tomorrow morning at Harrison Park, but they went ahead and canceled it. So I'm like, ooh, I kind of have some free time now.
Jesse, I think in the next 2 days we're looking at North Georgia area 6-7 inches of rain. So let's
really?
let's leave that all alone. I mean, you know, it's the kind of weather where you find your blanket because it'll be a little cooler. It's the kind of weather you take it. You find, for me, you get all your dumb movies out that you really don't have to think through. And they're the movies that if you fall asleep and wake up, you're not upset that you missed the part, right?
I'm thinking they should have turned this little fireplace thing on
I
for
think
us.
so.
That would have been
so.
a nice touch today.
You said when we started that you wanted to extend an invitation to our audience. What do you got going on?
Absolutely. So the past few weeks we've been talking a ton about the garden that we've just put in, the patio dedication that you were at. And so we want to extend an invitation to all of our viewers to be able to come and experience that for themselves. So we have a series of 3 events that will be starting June 18th, and each month it'll be on the 3rd Tuesday of each month starting in June, going through August, and we're going to have a Grow Your Own event. Just kind of going to leave that right there for a minute.
Yeah, okay, so...
Ryan, you do realize you're not the star of any of your segments but the opening, right?
Yes, I do. I get that.
I just wanted to let you know.
So...
Grow your
folks, grow your own. I'm trying.
I know.
Jesse, really? I'm actually okay. Come on up and grow. Okay, let's get back to grow your own what?
So for the first one on June 18th, it is going to be a Grow Your Own Italian herb garden. So we're going to have hors d'oeuvres and refreshments and beverages that are Italian themed. Think white peach sangrias, think antipasta, and we're going to send you home with a little 3-pot planter that has things like thyme, basil, oregano.
Oh, yeah.
So then when you're cooking in your own kitchen, you've grown your own.
Now, the garden up there at the patio, you already have, you're already growing herbs up there. What do you have up there growing already, and have you been able to already use some stuff from the patio at some of the cooking and things that you're making in the kitchen?
They have, so we've got some cilantro,
right.
They've got, I want to say there was some spearmint, and maybe, I forget what all herbs they used. But we also have tomatoes that are growing, and they're about that big right now.
Oh, I love spearmint. So the first Grow Your Own is Italian herbs and...
Yes.
Okay. What's the second Grow Your Own?
This one's going to be fun. Mojito bar. So grow your own mojito ingredients. So stevia, basil. We may even throw a strawberry plant in because strawberry mojitos are a hit right now. And then, of course, your mojito mint. So then you'll be able to take this planter home and enjoy mojitos on your own patio. And think of us at Cameron Hall while you enjoy that mojito.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And third?
Third, it's a super trendy thing right now. But do you know what succulents are?
Not really.
Oh, that hurts my little plant grower heart. So succulents are kind of the slang term is the hens and chicks plants that grow and they expand, and like the plant has little. So succulents is a variety of plants, and it's very trendy right now. It's very popular, and so we're going to be able to send you home. We're going to have a succulent bar, so you can kind of choose what pot you want to put them in, what kind of succulents.
Okay, what do I do with this? I mean, you gotta. I mean, look, you can't just keep telling me trendy. I don't usually with me. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
True.
What do I do with this?
So I enjoy the hens and chicks just because I like plants, and so it's something that I grew up with. My mom and dad had them. The other two gardens, do you cook any?
Yes.
So you'll be able to use these, and then the succulents are just something pretty to look at. They're easy care too. You just kind of leave them and forget about them.
Trendy.
It is a trendy thing. Like, I'm surprised they don't have any. Like, the fake ones are super duper trendy, and they're all over Instagram, and people are decorating with them. And
So this just went right by me?
probably.
Okay.
Although I did have a gentleman call me yesterday.
No, this means I have to now. I mean, I cannot stand not to know the latest trend and what's happening. So this means I have to be up there because I've got to find out what we're talking about.
Let's just pull up Instagram.
Let me see if I am going to be able to, let's see if I understand the latest trend. All right, so.
There you go.
Yeah, all right, okay, sure. I could see why many people like them. Not some, many people like it.
They do.
Now I'm all there on the herb garden thing, okay? I'm all there, and I guess I could. All right. Just saying.
Yeah.
Jesse, tell us again. And this is great. You want to visit the patio up there and the garden that they've built at Cameron Hall in Ellijay. It's absolutely a beautiful outdoor area. It's got the feeling out there. It's very relaxing, very comfortable. It's like when you walk out there, you're just unloading a whole lot of stress, tension, whatever, because the atmosphere is just beautiful out there. But tell us the 3 dates we got coming up that we're inviting people.
Sure, it's June 18th, July, and the date just the third Tuesday in July, and then August 20th. And it'll be in the afternoon, but be sure you can check out more details on our website.
June, July, August 3rd.
Third Tuesday
of that month, and on your website you have all this information. And where's your website? What is your website address?
CameronHallofEllijay.com.
CameronHallofEllijay.com. Now also, Jesse Barton is the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall there, and so if you have any questions about possibly moving in, anything about the Cameron Hall Assisted Living programs there, she will be glad to help you. What's the phone number down there?
706-515-4100.
And folks, at this time, that you may be at a time in your life where this transition is one of the biggest you ever make, needs to be as smooth as it possibly can. We'll just say that. And this is the person to help you with the total transition from moving to whatever. You will be glad to help them all the way through it, correct?
Absolutely.
Jesse, I appreciate you very much. I look forward to the gardening events. Yay. All three I look forward to.
We may create a hobby for you.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about that. Okay. We're going to talk about that. I'm your host, BKP. Want to thank Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall of Ellijay. Also, you can find these on our playlist, FYN TV, Fetcher News. If you want to go back, share with your friends about these great events going on at Cameron Hall that you've been invited to. We have our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society. It's going to be right here in just a minute. I'm sorry, I think this is a perfect way to always round out the week.
Absolutely, and I think you mentioned that your dogs enjoy napping with you.
Yes.
I'm sure this one would want to come home and nap with you
Oh,
as well.
absolutely. This guy looks like a big napper right around here, and we're going to show him to you right after these messages. Take us to break, Josh.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hey folks, we're back. It is time for our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. I'm your host, BKP, here with Rena. We're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and we have our star of the show, Oscar.
Yes.
Oscar, how are you? How are you, Oscar?
Oscar is a great dog. I still do not know why he's still with us.
Oscar.
He is such a sweet. He is such a sweet.
Oscar, what is up?
He loves to ride in the car. He's perfect at shotgun. There you go.
You want your
Good
belly
boy.
scratched, don't you, Oscar? Come here, Oscar.
He's about 2.5. Go say hi. Here,
I know.
Give him some of these.
I know, Oscar. Oh, Oscar, lay down. Let's sit down.
Okay. He's about 2.5 years old, and boxer slash lab slash whatever. I don't know. He's a mix, but he's a great dog. He would be a perfect dog for a little boy that wants a companion, playmate, someone to sleep with them, someone to play outside with them.
Little rascals. That's Petey right there.
Yeah, someone to just hang around and just enjoy life, because he is a great dog.
How old is Oscar?
About 2.5.
And he's at the perfect age right now, and he could keep up with kids. Now,
Oh, yeah.
I think he would fit great in the family.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah.
Plural, if you got a little boy who wants a dog, but if you have children and you want to send your children outside and know that send the protector, somebody's going to keep an eye on them, he looks like the guy who's going to go out with the kids every day and keep an eye on him.
Yeah, he's a good dog. He's had a couple of meet and greets with other dogs. They went well. For whatever reason, the people, decided not to have a second dog or whatever the case was. But so he can get along well with other dogs. He doesn't seem to mind them, big or little. We just have to do a meet and greet. Like I said, kids are great. He would be such a great companion for a boy or a
Oscar,
girl.
I always do look at your report card, and if it says you don't play well with others, that's a problem.
Yes.
But it seems to be your report card says that you play well with others.
And you can see he's way too excited.
Yes.
So he's perfect for in the house. This is what he does in the house. And except he'd probably get on the couch with you. I'm just not allowing him on the couch here. And he'd sit outside with you and he'll play. And he's just really, really a great dog. So come on out. He's been with us since February. We have 3 others that have been there longer. So we do have a good number of dogs to come out and look at. We are limited right now because one of our dogs, Emma, had puppies. So she had 8 puppies, 4 boys and 4 girls. They will not be ready for even viewing for 2, 3, 4 weeks. So don't even think about coming out and saying you want to see the puppies. But if you don't want to do the puppy training, Oscar's your man. Nico, Jinx, Juno. We have some really good dogs over there that need some homes, and it'd be nice to get Oscar a great home. He'd be perfect for, I'm telling you, the perfect travel dog. He'd be the perfect dog to take to one of the restaurants here, sit outside, have your dog lay next to you because he just doesn't act up. This is it.
Well, folks, I have met, yes, Oscar. I've met Oscar several times. He is a great guy. If you've got a little boy that's looking for a best friend, if you've got a little girl looking for a best friend, your son or daughter, if Oscar would go, if you're a guy and you got a clubhouse, Oscar would go and be a part of the clubhouse every day. If you want to have a tea party in the afternoon, you could teach Oscar to sit still and be there for your tea party. He would go to the tea party.
Oh, yeah.
And he would sit still and at the tea party. That being said, I don't know, to me, every child should have a dog. That's just me. Every child should have a dog. Oscar's the perfect family pet. That's my opinion. Now, the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, something we really like to be able to tell you is any adoption, you are guaranteed a disease-free pet. Okay, they go right through an intake program, so that way they make sure chipped, right?
Mm-hmm, that's correct.
And healthy
spayed,
dog.
neutered, yep.
You get all the details on the pet before you go home. And again, we like to meet and greet, and we like to find Oscar's forever home. So help us find this guy his forever home with your family by contacting the Humane Society at blueridge.org.
That's correct.
Humane Society of Blueridge.org. Go on their Facebook page, and also there's several dogs and cats to choose from. If you're looking for a cat, hey, perfect place. Dog, perfect place. They have both. And you have hours of operation. You may have given them yet, but have
No. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 5. Saturday, 10 to 2. We are closed Tuesdays and Sundays. And call us at 706-632-4357.
Oscar, we're trying. Adopt Oscar today, or another dog or cat from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Also, if you'd like to share these segments with your friends that are maybe looking for a pet, or want to have get more information about the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, go to our YouTube channel, FYNTV, Fetch Your News YouTube channel, and look at the playlist, Pet of the Week. So I'm going, and I'm just going to be straight with you, I'm going for my first opportunity to take a little brief nap.
That sounds good.
It's nap weather, right?
Yes, it is.
So I'm going to go find a half a chair. I might sit in a chair here at Circuit World. I've done it before. Yeah. Take my 30-minute nap. But, folks, we'll be back hopefully next week with the weather hopefully the weather will provide us an opportunity to get outdoors next week, Sycamore Crossing in downtown Blue Ridge. Right now, we're at Circuit World. We thank them very much. You have a great weekend. I'm your host, BKP. I'll be back Monday morning, 8 a.m. in the office. Josh, take us out of here.